Old wife, and now I'm a 34-year-old problem. And mostly the women who are telling you to go be a wife at 19 don't want to grow up. They want to go from their parents' house to their husband's house, and they want their husband to be their daddy. They want their husband to be the adult, the one who goes and earns the money, the one who deals with all of the hard problems, the one who pays the bills, that's your daddy. And I gotta tell you, as a person who got married the day after they turned 18, I was terrified of adulthood. I didn't know how to be an adult by myself because I had abusive parents who didn't teach me shit. And then I had this man, this boy, in front of me. My age, he was also 18. He was in the military. But he seemed like he knew a hell of a lot more about how life and everything worked. And so, yeah, I felt safe with him. I felt guided by him. I felt protected by him. I felt all of those things with him. I also felt like my only purpose in life was to serve him, which drove me fucking crazy. And no, that's not anything he ever explicitly or overtly enforced in our marriage. But we got married so young, and we're both from the Bible Belt. We had a very narrow framework for what marriage was supposed to be. And yeah, I'm telling you, these girls, they don't want to grow up because growing up is scary and hard. And there have been so many times in my life where, as a conventionally attractive woman, you can hedge your bets on a man. You can go be that stay-at-home wife, that stay-at-home girlfriend, that, person who doesn't earn a lot or bring in a lot or have a lot of means. You can do that in a relationship as a woman. And it's incredibly infantilizing.
I'm trying to figure out what the problem is. Why are women so bitter? The only thing that I can think of is because most of them have decided to go their own way. They've decided that they wanted to be independent. They want to be free. And so now they have to go out here and compete with men for resources, and it's made them bitter. And now their entire personality and the framework by which they speak is all towards making it seem as though being a mother or a wife is a bad thing, that leaning towards traditional values is a bad thing. I thought that the freedom to do what you want to do and vote how you want to vote, and the freedom that women have fought for wasn't supposed to demonize the people that decided that they still wanted to embrace traditional values. I didn't know that it was an opportunity for you guys to then get mad and pissed because your relationship didn't work out. So now what you see from most of these women is that they're advising and or speaking towards women that are younger and say, hey, listen, I'm not interested in getting into the workforce. I'm not interested in trying to compete for resources. I don't even want to sit here and make decisions for myself when it comes to some of these things in society that I think that traditionally should be reserved for men. I would rather him take care of that, and I want to spend the rest of my life focusing on the household and the children and making sure that he's taken care of. And so she's trying to frame it like, well, that's a problem. And there's other women that are older and bitter, and they're saying that it's a problem. The younger women, some of the younger women are looking at the older women, and they're saying, I don't want to live that hard life that you live. And so I'm going to pull back and focus on finding a husband at an earlier age and getting married. And maybe it didn't work for you, and who knows? Maybe it will or it won't work for me. But why are you now making it a problem for women that decide that they want to get married younger and avoid being in the streets and living a much nicer life according to what their standards of a relationship is supposed to be, and avoiding the problems and the issues? And instead, you want to push this onto them to be more masculine. I am very confused, and maybe you are, maybe you're not. Let me know inside of the chat. I'm confused.
And as a 34-year-old problem,
now she's labeling herself a problem. Look at the attitude. Look at the disposition. Look at that. Look at how she's standing. Now she's a 34-year-old problem. Bitter.
I have learned that. I have learned that not having my own money, my own say, my own power, my own brain that is respected within the context of the romantic relationship I'm in, I'm not happy. Because I'm not happy living my life for someone else, under someone else's ideas, using someone else's money. I'm not interested in that. So,
are you happy in your current circumstance, though?
I don't know. I mean, every time I see content on here from people who are 18, 19, 20, 21 years old, and they're talking about how great it is to be married. Yeah, that shroud of protection that you feel like your husband provides you, it gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter until it chokes you.
This is crazy. It's crazy. They're not happy because somebody else is happy. They're mad that the other person is not happy or is happy, and you're unhappy.
Somewhere around 30.
Our generation is infantilizing adults. I am 19 years old. I got married a week after I turned 18, and I had my baby on my 19th birthday. When I first started making TikTok content, and even now, one of the most common things is I am a child raising a child. Me and my husband are just kids playing house. Another thing that I've been seeing is I've seen people around my age infantilizing themselves. Like, I'm 18 and I can't even cook for myself. That's not good. I'm 18 and I'm not an adult yet, or I'm 18, I don't know how to do this, or this and this and this, and I'm just gonna say it, you should know how to do that. People try and use this. Sounds like they don't want to have the same responsibility as an adult. Age of adulthood starts at 18 for a reason. You aren't going from, okay, you're 17 and on your birthday, boom, you're exactly an adult. Throughout your whole teenage life, you should be learning life skills and be competent by the time you are 18. You should know how to cook. You should know how to clean. And I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not saying that I know everything. Some people say you're not an adult until you're 25. What? How are you saying that? There's been a few people that have made YouTube videos about me and saying that I wasn't responsible enough to be a mom or wife, or that I shouldn't be having any of this. It has set lower expectations on young adults, and I think that's a problem. People are now afraid to handle finances, make phone calls, scheduling appointments. You always see these women be like taking my mom to the hospital and having her answer the questions for me. I know some people have social anxiety, but to set that as a standard for young adults is ridiculous. People saying I'm just a kid or I'm just a girl, I think is also problematic. This generation is fleeing accountability. Society often tells 18 to 25-year-olds who can vote, join the military, sign contracts, take on debt, live on their own, get married, list goes on, that they aren't mature enough to do these things or to make decisions by themselves. And they are spoken about when discussing accountability, relationships, or decision making. Because you say that at 25, that's when your frontal lobe develops, which first of all isn't even true, just making it easier to not take accountability. It does not mean that you are valid for making stupid decisions at a younger age. You should be able to make an educated decision.
So she looks well put together. She looks happy. Apparently, there's a lot of women that are coming out against her. So women power go out the window depending on who's talking. So apparently, there's a lot of women that's coming out against her that's saying that, you know, she don't like it. They can't wait till she get older. So they wishing on her downfall because she's in a very fruitful relationship, obviously, and she's in a good space. And so that becomes triggering to women that wasn't able to achieve the thing that she is achieving at this moment. Very pretty, obviously just had a child, not going to work every day, well moisturized, looks presentable. And so that becomes a problem for other women that don't like to see them happy, bro. They don't like it.
Saying move out right when you turn 18, get married, have a baby. Not everybody wants that, and that's fine. But at the same time, the standard needs to be higher, and you should be knowing these things. You should be trying to learn more to be a competent adult by the age of 18.
Where are they hiding the 47-year-old trad wives? That's what I want to know. That's what I think about every time I see one of these videos from like a 19 or 20-year-old talking about having no job and no degree and she loves it and it's amazing. Where are the trad wives that are my age, that are 47, that are 50? Why are they not out there espousing how amazing this lifestyle is? I think we know. I think other women my age probably know because we have been on this earth long enough to see what happens when you tie yourself for life to an ultra-conservative, ultra-misogynist movement. It does not end well. You end up destitute and divorced because you had no financial security, you had no job history, or you end up with a life that is not particularly appealing to young women on Instagram and TikTok and Pinterest. And I realize that sounds mean, and maybe it is mean, but I'm just trying to be realistic here. Like, there is a reason that conservatives are asking 19 and 20-year-olds to recruit other young women. They know if they put a video out with like the average middle-aged trad wife and showed what her life looks like day to day, what she gave up her rights for, what she gave up her freedom for, I do not think that most young women in this country would be so eager to sign up.
Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off of life. I love you. I appreciate you. Interesting conversation.